coming back on.
Wow.
Back and your face is moving. I can see expressions. Your earrings appear to have movement. Oh, look at that. He's alive.
Yep, I can see the levels on your OBS
Awesome.
there. Yep.
Okay, so that seems to help. All right. All right. So let's try that again.
Yeah, can you reiterate what you were saying about the eyes?
Here, you just have this eye socket and hole. And I get it, right? I mean, I understand that in a lot of ways this thing is just an iris. You know what I mean? But if we go to our reflective material, see how, I mean, yes, this will be sulfured, but look at, you're not getting the dominess of a fisheye, if that makes sense. So if we come over here and we do it here, and we take our little groover, and I'm just going to turn this way up. And oh, I can't see crap that way. I'm like, what am I doing? I don't even know. The thing about doing it this way is that you now have a dome shape, and this is relative to the shape of the dome, so it's going to reflect as one surface with the dome, and it will give you a slightly more interesting eyeball there. And I would actually go as far as append, turn that off, append a star, W, sphere, divide, 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 divide. Oops. Is come back in. Project. Turn it. Uh-oh. Yeah. This version's acting a little squirrely right now, but that's okay. Transparency. Hold down Alt. Make that a perfect sphere. Mm-hmm. Clip. You know, give it. I think I smoothed this out. I don't remember how you had your eye. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, it was just a temporary eye, so no big deal.
Get your eye how you want it. Project. Come back in. And I actually probably would do this with Lazy Nazumi. So I'm actually doing a circle here instead of my Wallygoggy, Fuddlefuggy. My messy. Oops. right? Because I'm just making a mess right now. And let's hide that. And so now you can come in with your and let's make it off center. You had it up here, right? Oop. And I would do this with a little bit more geo. Is this all the way? You can come back and clean this up. After you've decimated it, you can put a little bit more geometry in here so you're not getting this chattery, chimmy-chammy, steppy tessellation. And you know, you have a little bit more character in yours, but here you're going to get a lot more of the ball feeling, and I think for these guys that's important, is having some of that reflectivity there. You know, you can kick this down and make it smaller or whatever, but by having these two guys on the same plane, and we can bring this little groover back in, project, and bring this up. Just make sure that's at the surface, and you can just bring this up at the surface. And now those are going to reflect as the same plane. And that gives you that feeling of that weirdness. These don't have the double pupil, do they? These are just pretty much one big black iris, aren't they? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they are.
This is one where the eye I was being a little bit more anthropomorphic. But yeah, I mean the original eye was just kind of sketching something in there, so this is it's extremely helpful though. What you're showing is really amazing.
Well, like so. Oh, it's because I'm a project.
Because coming from a VFX background, I do it eye completely different. You know what I mean?
You know, you can make this bigger and deeper, but it just really helps that those are reflecting on the same plane, and there's some reference to the eye bubble, right? Even though that definitely has a cute sadness to it that actually might be well worth its weight. But just something to think about. I think you can soften that up. I kind of like your eye though. I mean, it's reading very character driven, and in this metallic I don't mind it, honestly. Yeah, mine's
interesting.
Something to think about. We'll look at a later iteration. Think about the reflectivity of it, but honestly, I like this little lumpy. He's all like, ooh, he's a sad panda. I know, right? Everybody else is angry. Maybe I'm just missing. See, actually, I've taken on a little bit more of that angry brow. Maybe that's what's bothering me. One half's angry. He's a schizophrenic little octopi. He's all like, I'm angry. I'm not angry. I'm really sad. He's sadder there. I don't know. Actually, I might be wrong on this one. I just think this is actually more in character than what I was doing. You can do nothing. Very good. All right. Very cool. Do you have any other questions? Did we approach anything that you were thinking about?
Thanks. Oh no, it was great. Actually, yeah, all of it was extremely helpful, especially the stuff about the ring, because
Yeah.
I wasn't exactly sure.
Do
what
something
to do
beautiful
next with
like.
that, so.
No. Did I delete it? I did. Oh no, there it is. Some of that beautiful coral. Because let's. I mean, I think this is definitely a coral answer. I know that's what you were thinking. Look at that.
I had to do a lot
Right.
of coral for.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
coral.
And I did a whole lot of. We did a digital biology textbook on coral a few years ago. It was a lot of fun.
There you go.
Learned a lot from that.
I know this is exactly what you were thinking.
I didn't learn anything from that. I'm not to make a movie.
I just think that's a much more exciting.
That's
ring.
getting crazy, man.
I want to see somebody
no,
reach
this ring
into
will
their
harm
pocket
you.
wearing a ring like
No,
that.
this ring is
Right,
not for wear.
yeah.
This is for battle. That's your battle. That's your battle Dumbo ring.
That's a punching ring. Yeah.
Cool.
Yummy. I hope that helped. your exciting
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
world and coral coming. I can feel it. I did do that stag ring that had all those horns sticking out. But that was expressly made for someone. I was like, you got to know that this is going to hurt you, you know. That was more a cocktail ring, you know, something you wear out that's not really useful wear. But this one, on the other hand, you know, you should wear this and sweaters. This is the perfect sweater party ring. Next time you have to go to a sweater party, this is your ring. I'm going to print it out for you.
That's your ring.
And play Black Flag's TV party. And every time it says TV, I'm going to go sweater. Sweater,
Oh,
party tonight. Sweater, party tonight.
Monday Night Football.
We're going to have a sweater, party tonight.
You know, I used to think it was weird that the British called them jumpers, and then I realized we name an article
Right.
of clothing after a bodily function.
Well,
Kind of
Sweaters.
gross.
these
do?
things make you
What?
sweat.
Sweater,
Oh,
sweater.
oh, okay. Oh, didn't. Yeah, sorry.
I'm
Been a day.
looks kind of cold out. You might want to wear your excreter before you go
Yeah,
outside.
there it is. It's your Dumbo hiding in sadistic sweater trapping coral. That's where I would
You
go
should
with
put
that.
you should
Yeah.
put a Christmas hat on him
Without a
now,
doubt. That's the
just
answer.
to add to it.
And we've lost 15 people.
And that part of this ring will not be part of the free tutorial
Oh my god.
that we're
Okay,
offering.
let's move on. Did anyone else upload files?
They did. Go ahead and move on to Cena, the 2 JPEGs.
Awesome sauce.
Because they are in the chat.
All right. Let's start with the other one first. Oh, you know what I did not download? I didn't download
Rumble, rumble.
Thawthord. Thor to Thaw.
Soft sword, yeah, I forgot to remember.
Rob
Um,
sword. Yeah.
I
all right.
blame Mike.
You know, I'd love for you to upload the models next time. Because there are just a handful of things that, because, you know, this is very nice. You have good reflectivity. Your planes are good. this isn't razor sharp and this isn't razor sharp, and I like the feel of that. The only thing I would say is that I would make a ridge along the eye line here on this outside edge, because you have these beautiful harsh transitions, right? Even here, this is a nice hard line. Your teeth transition gets a little soft as well. So right here, your transition soft on the outside of the eye, like on the orbital here. And then as your teeth are coming up into this, I think that could be a nice place, not quite as dramatic as this, but where you have your ridge coming up and they actually have an intersection up here, and it can be softer, but keeping some of that sharpness to this, because these are very sharp and you lose your sharpness on the top edges and they just transition into something sort of, you know, they come up and then they just blend in really nicely. Not that that's bad, it's just that you have a vocabulary of very sharp edges here. And I just think this is a little soft right here in the orbital. And I think the teeth get a little soft, especially as they come up and transition in. But other than that, you're really consistent with your vocabulary. And I think, you know, it's definitely a nice, it's a nice project. Your vocabulary is solid, right? You're keeping your form and vocabulary correct. I just think that you have those two soft places. And other than that, I think it looks great. Henry, is there anything I'm missing out there?
No, they are in the chat, but they have not commented on the purpose of this
like
model yet.
An icon or a mask, or, you know, something you'd put on a shield or something like that. But those are the only few areas that I would think about. And now, didn't I just? All right, I guess I have to. I thought I could. Oh, there it is. And yeah, once again, I wish I had the ability to draw here. So the only thing, and you know, what's funny is there are faces that all kinds of shapes and sizes. So, you know, as a portrait of something, this could actually look exactly like them, right? But I think that your eyes are a little close in, because if you look at the outside edge of the mouth and you bring up your line, well, you're actually pretty close there. But hold on, let me bring something over here where we can look. Use the tools you have. It's definitely farther out than I thought it would be. You know. It feels like the eyes are too close together. And I think that's because this, like the temple, where the temple is happening, I don't see it here. But if there's meat on the skull, you can lose that, right? You know, if I just think that the distance between the outside of the eye and this are a little wide. And if it's that wide, you would think that the ear would be behind this cheekbone a little bit more. And I can't rotate around this, so I can't actually see how the skull is coming together. Because really, like, you know, the cheek, it looks like you have a lump here, right? It looks like you're coming out, in, and out. And so the cheekbone really is up here. So the weight of the cheekbone is higher. And so it looks like this is coming down and drooping. But that's just from this direction. You know what I mean? So it's hard for me to tell what's happening. But you know, it's a nice image. I think that your eyebrows look a little bit more like bark or short grass than eyebrow hair. It looks more like fur than hair, right? I don't think the strands of this are quite long enough. It just looks like chatter as opposed to long forming things. Yeah, I'd love to get my hands on the model so we can actually see what's going on. This edge is very sharp, this isn't a sharp edge. This is a little bit more meaty here. And like this comes down in and more, right? This is very high for this meat. That meat is actually back down in here most of the time. I mean, it's just tricky to give finesseful things from just a front view. So if you upload these models, I'd love to look at them and we can be a little bit more finesseful about that critique. And I'm assuming you haven't, you just worked on the head, because necks aren't just straight. You have muscles coming out here. So, but from what I'm seeing, I don't think that that's a, you're not doing a bust. It looks like you were just working on the face. Oh no, I mean, it looks good. Is there any way that at some point you can upload the model? Yeah. Send me the Z tool, because then we can get rid of the paint and we can look at the model. Because I mean, like, you can't see my hands. If we take, hold on, let me do this, and let's get one more window here, and do that. Like, some of the oddities that I'm seeing, if we do this, that looks great. You know what I mean? I mean, this is a really nice portrait. Something going on here. There's just something about the distance between the outside, like the cheekbone being all the way out here, right? Like, and I'm not saying there aren't people who have these silhouettes. Like, you might be taking this from a photo. If you are, send me the photo as well. Like, this is the peak of the cheekbone down here. And this is a muscle down here. The cheekbone's up here. Like, the peak of your cheekbone is right there, right? Because that's the bottom of the eye socket, right? The cheekbone is the bottom of the eye socket. It's about right here. And so you have the weight of the cheekbone down here. But if it's someone who's carrying body fat, that could very well look like that's there. That's what I'm saying. Being able to rotate it around and look at it would help a lot. No, don't you dare make a meme of me poking at my face. Oh my God, don't do it. Right? Because, I mean, look at that. That looks really good. So it's just, it has something to do with this outside silhouette being too wide and the cheekbone being too, but see here, you're implying the cheekbone. I mean, it just looks like this is meat or weight, So definitely send the model and let's look at it. But I mean, this is a lovely image. It just needs some tuning. Jeff, don't make me come over there. I will. No.
They seem to want me to do it.
I don't see it happening.
Interesting.
Go wrong. What could go wrong?
Yeah. You're not protected yet. All right, Jefferson, let's download you. Oh. Goodness gracious. I see how you are.
He also posted his reference photos in Discord.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
In progress pieces.
We can delete that. Boop.
Hello.
Hey.
I'm like, That's not it. Oh. All right. I see where we're at. No.
Yeah, that's the reference image.
I was thinking
file
for the
download.
face, because I was like, if you had pictures, I didn't realize the change. Never mind. Ignore me. Just ignore everything I'm saying.
New person.
Oh my God. All right. Boop. Jefferson. Okay. Boop.
So I'll put this out there first. It's clearly everything that you think it is. It is not done. However, it is 80% done. Really what's left is just her hair and toes. And other than that, I think it's almost,
so let's go back and
almost
look at
done.
this image. All right. Okay. So first thing, the breasts are very far apart and they're rolling out off the back. So it's almost as if she were lying on her back right now. This is like, I'm viewing it kind of like a neoprene outfit. It's not just spandex. It's something that has that structure, right? So I think that the first thing that you can do, and the breast may be this far out. I don't. Hold on, let's go back and look. I think she's a little more streamlined. Let's check out. Well, I mean, if that's her waist, no, you're right. I mean, that's not a bad positioning. Hold on, let's turn symmetry on.
Yeah.
Let's make this a little bigger, but I would say, even so, maybe bring it here. But the issue is this. Boop. Boop. I see. It's just in poly groups, not really. So hold on. Let's go back to here. Slide. Not snake hook, slide. I'm just going to get it out and pass this a touch so we can come in and mask this edge. I'm also going to divide this a little bit more. Hold on. I see. This is just... Sorry, I didn't realize that it was hidden.
Yeah, the rest of it is hidden.
Okay. Show part. All right. So...
No.
Especially in an outfit like this where it's very much squeezing together, because that's the whole point of having it zipped down to your sternum, is so you can see the bust line, right?
Yeah, I didn't bother with the breast because one, I was working symmetrically, and two, I was gonna leave it off until
I just think
I was actually gonna pose her. So
sure. I just think
it was just an
kind
after.
of wrap your head around them at this point just a little, because it's really going to make a difference of how the garment wears. You got to think that they're anime breasts, but this costume is pressing these up and together, right? And that's why you're getting. And I know I've flattened this out. I'm just looking at a silhouette here. Sorry. Yeah.
No. It's fine.
But that weight changes this curve in here, and that's going to change where your where your garment is sitting, right? So, you know, these are attaching here, you're getting weight in here. Boom. Okay. So that's a little bit more of what the shape of that's happening, right? These are, and honestly, this is probably even not that's there. These are actually probably pressing together here. If we're not mistaken, let's look. Right, you can see here they're actually contacting all the way up here. So that bust line, I mean, you're never going to see the sternum, right? Okay, I made them a weird shape, but you get what I'm talking about, I'm sure, right? All right.
Oh,
all right,
yes.
so
I
by changing the
understand.
bust to where it's actually being squeezed together and pushed up, you're now getting this bust line. So when we come to the, oops, here, let's hide this again. No, I clipped the breast. Boop. No, that wasn't it. No, that's what we have selected. Where are you? There it is, right? Okay. So you can see how it dramatically changed where your garment's sitting. So just make sure to get that a little bit closer to what's happening there, because now you can. It's not gonna let me do that. No, stop it. I'm like, I'm having a hard time getting things to accept things. All right. And like I said, you. But make sure that this intersection is actually where it is, as opposed to spreading and falling out and off. Now, as far as the costume goes, I think. White lines. Okay, so these are white lines, but your inset is also the white. So if the white is going in or out, right? So it looks like the white is sitting under the navy, right?
Yeah, yeah. The by the areas of white that are thinner, much thinner, the smaller, the smallest areas, they're pushing out, while the other areas they're pushing in and revealing skin with by the in the pelvic area.
And just now is hold on. Now is this line? Are they? I know some of this.
I have another image that shows the original version of the character with the actual with her actual legs, because this I whipped up because when I first was working on it, I had no idea what her legs looked like. I couldn't find an image that had the whole figure until much later. So put that
I'd love to see the original image, just so I have in my brain, you know. Okay.
There it is.
Okay. So I'm just trying to wrap my head around the graphic versus the inset, right? Because like here, you know, the line is the piping, right? It's the edge of this intersection, and why there's different, like, I don't understand design wise, right? Hold on, let's come here. Is this what we're on? Yeah. And let me pick my paintbrush. Oh, I forgot I have paintbrush. I could have used that. Okay. Paint. RGB. Z and sub. Okay. Don't choke. Come on. You can do it. So where?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
had
that's
those
fine.
areas of painted to save my masking.
So here's my issue with these, right? If we look at your original image, right, as you can see, your contrast is piping, right? This is sort of how